Get ready with me as we do my favorite recent makeup look and just have a little chat about life. Let's go. But first, I need this sun to get out of the way. So how are you guys? I am celebrating being 39, and we have some feels about that. First of all, no one ever told me when it comes to aging, still in your head, you view yourself as a certain age. So Sarah is one of my dear friends who also shoots all of our photos for social media. She just turned 27. Her birthday's 2 days after mine. And in my head, when I talk to her, I'm still 27, except I'm not. And cue hysterical crying. Speaking of photos, I actually just met with my old commercial print work agency. And I think we might be going back into it, you guys. But we'll see how this goes. I'm not opposed to it by any means, but I also, I think I'm a masochist. Unless I'm so crazy busy that I can't get my head above water, I'm not happy. I do get a lot of questions about why I left the entertainment industry. And honestly, it just boils down to the fact that I am a certain appearance that I cannot change. And the roles that I was being offered or auditioning for were roles that just didn't really line up with my morals. So I decided it was best to take my final bow. So I fell into the industry when I was a young kid. The casting director for Sweet Home Alabama found me in the mall when they were filming the movie in my town and wanted to use me as Reese Witherspoon's double. That was the thing that set me on the path, because from there I got with an agency. I was underage. I had to have an agent in order to work. So I got in with an agency, but when the movie was over, I never ended the contract with the agency. So I just kept on working. And then boom, before you know it, you've been in the industry for 21 years and it is so much of your life that that's all you know. I do not in any way regret it. I think everything happens for a reason. But that being said, it is hard to see, even at a younger age, so many girls who wanted to be in the industry, but they would enter it and they would forsake all of their morals and disrespect themselves just for screen time. So that was something at a young age that I just knew I wasn't going to do. I was not going to forsake my morals. I was not going to disrespect myself. I would not agree to any nudity. I did not agree to any sexual scenes or anything like that. So when you put that into your stipulations, it limits you a lot. But I stuck to my guns and I still managed to book some really amazing jobs. I started out as a model on The Price is Right. I did some shows for Lifetime, Disney, and then the burger biggie was The Hunger Games. Also, my trick is that I've been using this as a eyeshadow and a blush, and I'm obsessed. That being said, with all of those years in the industry, I have some pretty entertaining stories. Literally pushed Kevin Bacon. Sorry, Mr. Bacon. Called Phil Nicholson Bill all day long on a shoot, had no idea who he was, told him he was good at golf and should be a pro golfer. And completely bombed an audition for Avengers because I have a phobia of something I'm not going to name. And I walked into the audition room and it was right there in front of me and I lost my cool. So yeah, bombed that. But all things aside, it led me here. So during my time in the industry, I had one rule personally, and that was I would not date actors or models. I just felt like in order to take it seriously and be as professional as possible, I needed to eliminate that part from the job. And honestly, it worked out pretty well for me. I heard a lot of horror stories. Although there is this internet rumor that I dated Nick Jonas, one of the Jonas brothers. Not true. Literally never met the guy. So that was fun because every real date that I did go on, if the person had looked me up, which was beyond awkward, by the way, that made for an interesting topic of conversation. But that being said, at least they chose a guy who seems to have a good moral standing. So all of that to say, I might be going back into the modeling side of it. I don't really want to go back into the acting side unless something comes along. Actually, my original desire and dream was to do Christian-based projects. But at the end of the day, I guess one way to look at it is that those words would have been scripted, they wouldn't have been my own, whereas I can sit on here and talk about my faith or any type of topics that I want to talk about, and they're actually my words and coming from my heart. So maybe things do work out. I love this mascara. It's Elia. It is a clean mascara, but it's one of the only ones that I've found that does not smudge or budge. So I'm always sitting on here doing my hair, makeup, talking about tips and tricks. It's honestly just things that I've learned over the 21 years. When you sit and have your hair and makeup done every day by professionals, you pick a few things up. And since we don't believe in gatekeeping, I'll share them all with you. So that is how I fell into all of it. That's how I've acquired all of my knowledge about all things beauty. And I just totally realized that I never set up my lighting. So let's do that. Okay, now she's properly lit. Oy vey. So there we have it. That is my go-to makeup look recently that I have been loving, and a little bit of my backstory. I went for a more matte makeup look today because we are shooting photos and matte reads better on camera. Also, moral of the story, stick to your guns, ladies. Respect yourself and demand respect from others. Hope this helped.